Hello, I am Jonah, and this is my story. I never wanted to go to Nineveh. The very thought of that city, with its wickedness and cruelty, sent a shudder through my soul. Yet, that is where the Lord commanded me to go, to cry out against it, to warn them of his impending judgment. I, Jonah, a prophet of the Most High, could not bring myself to obey. Instead, I fled. I ran from the voice of the Lord, thinking I could escape his presence. Foolishness. I found a ship bound for Tarshish, paid my fare, and boarded, believing I had outwitted the Almighty. But the sea is his, and so is the sky, and he would not let me go so easily. A great storm arose, violent and unrelenting. The sailors cried out to their gods, but I knew the truth. This was no ordinary storm. The hand of the Lord was against me. Guilt weighed me down, and as the ship tossed like a leaf upon the waves, I hid below deck, trying to escape my fate in sleep. But the captain found me. "Call upon your God," he urged. "Perhaps he will spare us." Yet I knew what had to be done. When the sailors cast lots to discover who had brought this disaster upon them, the lot fell to me. There was no denying it any longer. "I am a Hebrew," I confessed, "and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land." Terror seized them when they heard this, for they knew I was fleeing from him. I told them the only way to save themselves was to throw me into the sea. They resisted at first, but as the waves grew wilder, they saw they had no choice. Overboard I went, plunging into the churning abyss. The moment my body hit the water, the sea stilled. The men marveled and feared the Lord, offering sacrifices to him. I should have drowned. I expected to die. But instead, the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow me whole. For 3 days and 3 nights, I was in the belly of that creature, entombed in darkness, surrounded by the stench of death. There, in the depths, I prayed. I repented. I called out to the Lord, acknowledging that salvation belongs to him alone. In his mercy, he commanded the fish to vomit me onto dry land. This time, when the Lord spoke, I obeyed. I went to Nineveh and proclaimed his message. "Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown." The people believed. From the king to the lowest servant, they fasted, covered themselves in sackcloth, and repented of their wickedness. And the Lord, in his great compassion, relented. He spared them. I should have rejoiced at their repentance, but instead, I burned with anger. How could he forgive them? These were our enemies, cruel and violent. I left the city in frustration and sat outside, sulking beneath a shelter. The Lord caused a plant to grow, shading me from the scorching sun, and for a moment I was comforted. But the next day, a worm destroyed the plant, and the sun beat down upon me once more. In my misery, I wished for death. Then the Lord spoke again. "Do you have reason to be angry about the plant?" I did. "Yes," I replied bitterly, "angry enough to die." And he answered me, "You pity the plant, which you did not labor for nor make grow. Should I not then pity Nineveh, that great city, in which more than 120,000 people dwell, who do not know their right hand from their left?" His words struck me. My heart was hardened, but his was full of mercy. He is the God of justice, but also of compassion, and his ways are higher than mine.